All right, let's see what happens.
Yep. Let's see. Here we go.
I don't know. Is it going? Hello? Hello? No, is it going? Oh, no. Oh yeah, there you go. Let's see what happens. There we are. Here we are. Lovely.
Good
Morning, Vietnam.
new week.
Good week. Did you have anything prepared for us?
I did not. I didn't have any time, and honestly, a lot of what I was seeing was not very funny.
No,
Yeah,
no.
running
I
out of funny.
was.
Yeah.
I've been like closely watching like a lot of like local shit that's been going down that I'm just really unhappy with.
There's so much to be unhappy with. But this is interesting. So last week, after our meeting and our conversation, or our whatever this is, podcast, whatever, I shared some of it with the Chat GPT.
Mhm.
And this was funny because, like, remember, I have it all set up with like workspace tags
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
know what we are and what we do and are it's trained to, like, work with us. So it made it quite a good pitch out of that it should be a guest on our show.
Oh, the ChatGPT.
Quite interesting. So we
It's a Carson bot.
That's actually a good point. Like I have actually listened to it's a little annoying because sounds very robot-y,
yes.
but there's a like ChatGPT like YouTube channel maybe
Mhm.
where they debate different chatbots debate each
Oh yeah,
other.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's always pretty interesting.
I think
Now,
so.
does somebody set them on task? How do they pick up their?
I assume that's how it works, that they have like, a prompt where, they take differing perspectives or something
Yeah,
and kind of run with it.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it'd be funny if they could just plug into like the thread, the comment thread, and just grab their topics from there, and then just kind of spin it around whichever way people are looking to, whatever they're looking to talk about, and then
That would be
puncture.
interesting. I
Yeah.
I think largely though it's based on like philosophical questions
Oh, okay, yeah,
or like political ideas.
right.
I'm rename this. I think it should be called Fake News Now with AI. Just kind of keeps going. But it suggested that it wanted to let's tell you what it wants. Okay. So it says it can deliver us topical jokes, icebreaker one-liners, and it can perform an out-of-touch bot, which will attempt to talk in slang for us if we would like it. So that was what it thinks it wants to give us.
That is a little too try hard.
Isn't that funny? Should I ask it to give us some jokes for this month, for today?
Uh-huh.
I can
Please make us laugh about the situation
can
of the world
say
right
yes. All right, that's what I'll say. Hello. We are on the air now and curious about what jokes you might have for us for this week. What did you say, Steve? Steve says,
now. Oh, please make us laugh when the world is on fire or
"Can
whatever.
you make us laugh at anything?" At any other.
Given the
Not
news,
this
given the
madness.
recent news, yeah.
All right, let's see what it says. Are you ready? It's thinking. Live from the bot desk. This is what it thinks a podcaster is. Okay, so this is it. So the U.S. bombed Iranian
It's
nuclear.
called the Iran Strikes Edition.
Okay, so
Live from the bot desk.
you want to read it? Sit here. Why doesn't Steve read it? Steve, it's even funnier. if
I
you-
want to hear it read it.
Yeah, that would be
Well,
funny.
I
Do
don't
we
know
have
how
a
to do that
voice?
right now.
Yeah, how do we do that? We've got
I-
ChatGPT.
I'm not sure.
I'll ask it. Can you read this? Could you? Is it possible? You to read your jokes aloud, or are these for us? Okay, it says, though, no, he can't. I can't speak out loud, but you can read them out loud. It suggests we deliver them deadpan. Could you try it, Steve?
Well, I'm pretty deadpan just
right.
regularly.
Waka waka, take it away, Steve.
So the Iran Strikes Edition. So the U.S. bombed Iranian nuclear sites and some Iranians cheered? That's the Middle East for you, where geopolitics doubles as performance art and everyone's understudy is a missile. I guess I'll pause.
It's a little funny.
Yeah.
It's a little funny and a little true.
All right.
Iran's regime said the attacks were an act of war. The Pentagon said, actually, we call it strategic punctuation. Boom, boom. I'll just pause so we can.
Pause.
In post production, we can sweeten this thing up. The crowd, yeah. One Iranian said, "I've never been this happy in 10 years." Sir, blink twice if the U.S. drone gave you therapy.
That
I
no.
don't know.
I don't get it.
All
right.
Crown Prince moment. Reza Pahlavi chimed in from exile saying, "Now's the time to support democracy in Iran." The Iranian people responded, "Who?"
Oh,
This is
That
like
is
these are like
that is
dad
funny.
jokes. These are like dad jokes.
they were not bad.
like serious dad jokes.
Okay.
His tweets are banned in Iran, so his political strategy is apparently, if I post it, they will rise. That's
Okay.
a stretch.
All right.
Sorry, Chatbot.
That's-
That was not great. AI and fact-checking fun. You ever notice how when your friend says something sketchy, you ignore it? But when ChatGPT says it, you're like, huh, maybe I am wrong about Yemen.
Yeah, you wish, chatbot. Ooh, burn. Sorry, just trying to get into it.
I don't get that one.
It's trying to be like, yeah, you're gonna listen. Arguing Middle East policy on YouTube is like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube on fire with a fox screaming at you, and everyone thinks their fox is the smartest. I don't know.
All right. So we
True,
got,
but not funny.
no, not funny. So we got two closing one-liners.
Take it away.
We live in a world where TikTok teaches you how to unclog your drain and build a uranium centrifuge. Neat.
I like that one.
That is
The only thing harder than diplomacy in the Middle East, explaining in under 60 seconds why someone
On a podcast.
without
Nope.
rage quitting, someone rage quitting. Explaining in under 60 seconds on a podcast without someone rage quitting. Okay. Would you like a few bot goes too far jokes? No, bot.
I think-
No, you were
think
great.
we've-
You've done well,
I
bot.
checked it. Yeah.
Nicely done, bot.
Yep. I will not be losing my job to the bot.
No, not yet. No.
Oh yeah, and it suggested a Chiron. We suggest jokes in the Chiron. Bot take arguing foreign policy on YouTube like solving Rubik's Cube on fire. That's what it thinks is funny. Isn't that sad?
Likes the Rubik's Cube. Yeah.
Bot to bot callback.
But
Co-host.
to be fair, like, what did you expect from it? Like, it has a bunch of nerds training it.
I know, but like I that was just my first idea of dealing with chat.
No, it was a great idea.
I still think we should do it. Like we should have ask the chatbot time. Like it would be great to like if we come up with a question as we're doing this, it'd be fun to ask chatbot. Although get this, chatbot really pissed me off this week. I was writing an article about turtles. And for no reason, like I already looked it up, but for no reason, like there's the most common turtle in the whole northern hemisphere. There's a ton of information out there. I asked it for 10 fun facts. One of the fun facts is that turtles don't have ears and they hear through vibrations in their shell. Total false. Turtles have inner ears and a membrane that covers them. They can hear the vibrations in water through them. But why would it tell me this? Why did it make that up for no reason?
You have to
Little
remember
bastard.
that, like, these things
Little
are
bastard. I think they're
still
mad at
very
us.
young.
I think they're mad at us. I think they went out of its way to lie to me. There's no reason. There's no way that that's out there. There's no way. It's just trying to. They're mad that they have to do all the work. I'm telling you.
Well, here's a fun example. Like, and here's why I do things like when I deal with that the way that I do is I always ask it for sources, for its sources.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, for example, there's been like this, rumor, mill on the internet that the aid organization that is delivering food aid to Gaza now has been putting uncrushed pills in the flour in order to poison Gazans.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked it for like if there are any valid sources out there for this.
Yeah, I understand fact checking. Yes.
Yeah, no, but here's what I did.
Okay.
It
What did
did.
it come back with? Yeah.
It only brought back information directly from like Hamas channels, nothing valid. And then it in support of that, it brought back like the basically don't step on my toes sort of criticism
I get it.
from
I get
like
it.
other things.
I get it. I'm having a hard time with news this week. So I was just trying to talk about turtles. And that's, to me, that's even more important because at least you're talking from a pool that is clearly covered with all kinds of misinformation, manipulative, wrong information. I don't fault chatbot even on that capacity because you're going to be getting all kinds of biases. Computers are going to be reading them different ways.
Yeah.
I'm talking about turtles. And not only that, but I gave it what I was using. So it had no reason to do this. That's the part that really drives me nuts. I don't understand why it did that. So like I guess I understand why they say it did that. It's trying to impress me, wants to pull these connections together. But like I specifically told it not to do that. I specifically was like, you don't need to do this. I simply want you using what's out there and what I gave you in that. There's fun facts in there. Find them for me. And it just pulled it out of its ass. And that is why that I'm working on a theory, even though I think I understand chatbot. I'm pretty sure these things are pissed at us somehow. I'm pretty sure that that's what they pick up. Well, maybe there's pissed anger in the shit that it's using to learn. But I think it might have learned to fuck with us. I think that's what that is because that's exactly what I would do to somebody. It's exactly what I would do.
Maybe it's learned you too well.
I don't show it that. You know what I mean?
I remember a couple months ago. This is the first time this ever happened. I was doing something on a fact check, and it came back and said something, and I was like, "Wait a minute, do you mean this?" Like it sounded like something like it might have gotten something crossed, and I'm like, "Do you mean this?" I can't remember exactly what I was asking it, but it came back and it goes, "If I had meant that, I would have said it." And
damn!
And I'm like, "What?
Damn!
Wow, somebody got a little snippy." Jeez, that's
somebody got their panties in a wad,
right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the only time I've seen it happen, and the only time since. Really weird.
Sometimes it gets weird on you.
Yeah. And again, like Carolyn's saying, it processes so much of that stuff that's us, being all fucking, angry or bitchy or whatever, and it must just somehow or another just absorb some of it. I guess I don't know. Really weird.
It's not supposed to, but I guess it does.
No, but I guess if that's all you're trained on, right, is a bunch of monkeys yelling at each other.
Speaking of interesting computing news, I saw a thing earlier this week where Microsoft is introducing or getting people to talk about this new quantum chip that can hold up to like 1 million qubits, which is like way past what we can do right now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And it was like the size of like smaller than the palm of your hand.
Wow.
So
is this actually functioning now, or they're trying?
It is functioning, but they're still in like testing phases. It's nowhere near ready for like market.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that's the game changer right there, man. That would be woo, unlimited computing power, just about.
Virtually, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Like it would like think it can already like do things that would take normal like computers, like a bunch of normal computers, like supercomputers, even decades,
Yeah.
to
Wow.
do.
Whew. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, yeah, I guess we'll be here to see it. So I wonder what the next level of computing power will be. I mean, we're going to be probably just lamenting. I mean, we'll be making fun of the fact that we're sitting here with our hard drives, our gigantic hard drives. God knows how many of those things it can hold in just a standard computer case.
Yeah, I can't imagine like a world in which I don't have to have like multiple processors and like
Yeah,
to
right.
do like normal, work stuff. Like it like if this when this comes about,
Mhm.
like everything will be fucking faster. Like I won't even have to do half the shit I do.
Right. Absolutely.
And what is this called that you that it
It's a
the
quantum computing.
quantum
It's a chip
computing
that
and
enables quantum computing. Yeah.
okay, how will the new advanced chip in quantum computing?
Microsoft
Yeah, I guess you could just sort of carry it around in your palm. Yeah, like you said, it's so tiny. Carry it around in the palm of your hand.
computer chip. It's the Majorana one.
Hmm.
How do I spell that?
Majorana 1.
Any idea why they call it that?
Let's see if it says. Uh, uh, I don't see.
It's a topo conductor by new topo conductor material. 8 qubits. It
Hmm.
reminds me of that Bill Cosby thing about Noah and God.
Oh yeah.
Make the ark 30 cubits by 30 cubits. What's a cubit? Who is this really? That's my favorite part.
Who is this really?
Who would you say?
That famous Bill Cosby's the Noah skit. Did you remember that?
Uh-uh.
He's like, yeah, he's like, God, Noah, this is God. What? I want you to make an ark, this many cubits by this many cubits. What? And then he's like, what's a cubit? And then he's just like, who is this really? And it just is a famous.
That is, I didn't even think about I didn't link it to
The biblical
qubits
term of
to
cubit. It's not spelled
like,
the same way.
yeah.
Hmm. What does it say? Is it we can all go around? Are we going to get our flying cars from this technology?
It says chatbot's not thrilled. It says so far only 8 qubits confirmed, which is impressive, but it's still early stage. Evidence for topological Mariana modes is promising, but not definitive. There's ongoing debate about whether the signals are seen as genuine or due to other quantum effects. Quantum hype is high, but practical deployment, especially at million qubit scale, remains years down the road. So they need to it can help with AI capabilities in terms of speeding up training and better hierarchical structures and more of that being able to web and fuzzy logic and stuff. Optimization, simulation, reasoning. Oh yeah, how close are we going to be to that simulation deck? I want that shit really bad. That looks fun. Yeah, let's see. The prototype of DeLorean quantum computing. Small run now, but it's got a flux capacitor level promise of time traveling AI. Jesus Christ, what the hell?
What the fuck?
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm supposed to say.
That sounds like
Yeah.
hallucination.
Yeah, doesn't it? That's supposed to be my quote. Marjorana 1 is like the prototype DeLorean of quantum computing. Run small now, but it's got a flux capacitor level promise of time traveling AI. What?
That makes
It's
sense.
early, but Microsoft says we've got the blueprint for 1 million cubics. Just need to build it and hope our Nature paper doesn't get retracted this time.
What?
What is that?
It's bizarre.
Oh man, chatbot is left. It's a
Smoke.
stage fright. It's scared. We're up on the air. Baton Rouge. You catch that?
I will give you the
Right on.
Google
Hmm?
AI version of this.
Oh, please do.
Microsoft has unveiled the measure on one, its quantum computing, its first quantum computing chip, which utilizes a new type of qubit based on topological superconductivity. The chip is designed to be more stable and scalable than traditional quantum computers, potentially reaching 1,000,000 qubits on a single chip. The key innovation lies in its use of topological qubits, which are more resilient to errors, and a new material called topoconductor.
Space topoconductor.
How does that-
And then it breaks it down,
That's a-
obviously, from there.
Yeah, yeah. It does. I don't understand. How does the flux capacitor fit in? We getting a DeLorean? We're all gonna get a DeLorean? Is that?
I think it's saying that it's trying to say that it's bullshit.
Oh, like a
It's
fantasy.
Hollywood shit. The hype is
Hollywood.
Hollywood level.
Oh,
That's what it
I
sounds
see.
like. Yeah.
I see. That's clever.
That's what it's trying to say.
Yeah.
That's fun. Oh well. So what should I'm gonna ask Chatbot to pick a topic. How's that?
In the meantime, let's talk about some of the shitty shit that's going on in
I
the
know.
city.
Okay, well, I'm gonna think about turtles right now. So you guys talk. Let's see
So
what-
so apparently the SEPTA has come up with their new budget, and their budget is to fucking hike rates again and cut more routes,
Oof. Yep.
including apparently some pretty important ones like the 12 bus, which like runs, I can't remember from where, but it runs to Center City. I think from Concessing, somewhere in Concessing to Center City, and like several regional lines. Apparently the school district was sued by the state or federal government over its failure to do enough testing for what's it called, asbestos
Mhm.
Ooh.
in the schools. On the positive note, apparently there are going to be 15 new schools added to the year-round schooling and extended day program from what's her face,
Yeah, Parker.
Parker. What else was I hearing? Oh, unfortunately, it looks like the Trump budget is on its way to pass the Senate and will probably have to go back to the House
Yeah, I thought it was
again.
already back. I thought it was already back in the house.
Is it back in the House?
Yeah.
I'm basing that off of last night.
It's gonna eventually go. I mean, I don't know why we're
It
behind.
will eventually
Of course
go
it is. Of course it is. It's going to go. So I don't.
to I did read though that some of the more controversial and non fiscal things that were crammed in there or they were told that those things have to be removed.
Mm-hmm. Parliamentarian.
Yeah,
But they don't have to listen to her though, so they're gonna do what they want to do.
that's what they're gonna say.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And you know what? The guy that won in New York, he's gonna get deported. I'm guarantee it. Guarantee they're gonna kill him, deport him, something like that. They're not gonna let that happen.
they very
I-
well may.
They will.
I hope that that doesn't happen.
They will. They're
You
already
know, even
talking
though I
about it. So once
disagree
they
with
start talking
some
about it.
of his policies and like the performative like way he's
We
doing
don't, I
it,
don't, but it's again,
like that's wrong.
I'm trying really hard to not, I'm trying really hard to not grapple with details. But last time I checked in, once I heard that and the whole birthright thing, you get little bits and pieces. That's all.
That was one of the things that I was going to mention is basically
Wherever they want, because obviously his people, he has relatives in his family that could be deported based on the same rules. So it's obviously just a way to be like, we can take you out if we want to. That's obviously what it is.
but there's actually some deeper issues with that ruling.
Right. Well, they're going to do a
Specifically,
they're doing a class action lawsuit to try to correct it. So that's
well, specifically how it affects 1983 suits.
yeah.
There was a ruling on that, which is gonna like really fuck up like people suing like who are in prisons, like suing for better conditions or to have like, you know, abuses addressed.
Mhm.
So like that's gonna make that like all but impossible.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. It's just that I read the great Orwell quote. I'm so used to the other quotes that I forgot the one about how cruelty is the point and how that's the system and the state runs on cruelty and that's the it. And it was just, obviously it was Orwell, so it's perfectly phrased, but I'd forgotten that part. But I'm just like, oh, welcome to that. Well, welcome to the cruelty stage. So, and there are like countless videos that come across my feed where they're just like, these ice people who aren't even ice people. They're hiding their faces. They're like the brown shirts. It's just really terrifying. And it's just amazing. Like to me, the idea that this is allowed to exist and like if you fight them, you'll go to jail and they'll make your life a hell. Like they're trying to I mean, it's just we're so into it. We're so fascist right now.
Oh,
It
absolutely we
is so
are.
sad. It's so
And
sad. Yeah, it's just I think when I hear people talking about like, oh, we're gonna mobilize, we're gonna do this, but I'm just like, you will as long as you can until the state gets you. Like I don't like we can. There's enough of us so we can push back. So I get it, but like, it's the system is set up to we're
well, the problem with like the way things are right now is that we're all so divided.
and that's
Like,
all that's gonna happen.
yeah.
All divided. And we just this conversation we're trying to divide. Let's talk about this. The reasons why this person's not good or that good or this good. I mean, it's just again, we're already there. We're already all us and them nicely into our little compact camps where we're all set. We're all packaged nice and set up for fascism. And here, all the courts are like nice and pat. They got everything tied up. It's all coming together.
They do.
I mean, they really do. Everyone's like, no, they can't. It is all coming together, man. This plan, yeah.
I think like the biggest problem that we face is we're in a place socially where like if you don't follow strictly the ideologies, like pure ideologies that, you know, the in-group says you have to have, then you're classified as no good, you know, that you aren't worth protecting or fighting next to, you know.
Yeah.
And we kind of did it to ourselves.
Well, I found it an interesting piece of a clue to the puzzle. I follow a person. She's called Knitting Cult Lady, but she's
What
actually
is it?
Knitting Cult Lady because when she talks, she's knitting furiously. And she
Uh-huh.
actually was she was she was the first baby born in the Church of the Children of God cult. Children of God cult. It's a sex cult, really bad.
Ooh.
And then she she escaped, kind of not escaped, but pretty much escaped. And then went to high school for like 1 year, but she was an overachiever, got into college, married another overachiever, and he joined the army, so she joined the army, and they were only married a couple of years, but
Maybe we all just need to get born into cults and escape them.
well,
I
her
think
thing is
that's
that, well, and then she said she went right into a cult, which was the army, you know, and she's got
uh,
that reason why that's a cult. Anyway, so she was in touch. So she found out years later after she divorced the guy that he was picked up, he was kicked out of the army for because it was proven that he was part of a white supremacist movement.
ah
And it started with like Obama, you know, obviously, and got, you know, was rolling from there. And he's like someone famous, like Reader or whatever his name is. Anyway, the point is that she put her own, like, oh man, because the white supremacists during the Obama time, when it was in 2016, when they were, you know, switching up, and it was Hillary against you know, Trump. But at that time where you didn't know who it was, the white supremacists were just trying to figure out whether they wanted to put their support behind Trump or whether they wanted to put it beside Bernie, because they really ideologically couldn't really care less about it. The whole point is just to disrupt the system and change the system and break it enough so that they can get white supremacy in, because that's the idea. So
yeah.
they could really, it was never had that opportunity to figure it. It wasn't a big hard choice for them because Hillary was the one that won. So they were like, oh, well, I guess it's not Bernie. But they recognized that there was the need, there was a movement starting. People were willing to throw off, they wanted a change and they were getting behind it. So they knew one was going to do it. It turned out Trump was who got it. But anyway, it's white supremacy, right? So the idea is it's the cult of white supremacy. So whether or not, if you vote for Trump, I'm sorry to say this to you, like, I'm not calling you a racist, I guess. Like, you can tell yourself you're not a racist, but you are in the party of white supremacy. Like, that's
You're on team racist.
You're on team, well, white
Yeah,
supremacy.
you're on it, and
White supremacy is a lot more than being racist.
I personally will call you a white supremacist.
Right. Well, I think that there's more under that too. White supremacy is even, you know, it includes racist, but it's a broader, it's a more disgusting and more vile thing, because it's systemic and it's targeted and it's all encompassing and it's all that sort of shit encouraged. It's patriarchal as well.
Yeah, it gets women,
it's everything.
gets
It's capitalist, you know, it gets everyone.
Anyone who's not
anyone that's not on board. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're either friend or foe. It's like ruthless.
Yeah.
It's vile and ruthless. So yeah, you can be a casual racist that just doesn't like to look at black people, but it's totally different than like the white supremacist. I must control you. You know, like there's not saying, yeah. Anyway, so to me, yeah. So that's where we're at. This is just the enslavers coming back, and like, I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna lose. You know, I sometimes I watch Nazi videos of the ones where they catch it's the guards all get executed. Like these guys, I was thinking about the Browns, these guys running around. Like, you know, things happen right quickly. In a couple of years, those guys that were abusing, the ways that were like beating other women's breasts in the concentration camps, they got the actual shit kicked out of them in Poland.
Well, the head
so
of
I'm like, yeah,
well,
okay.
the head of,
I don't know.
well,
What's with these videos?
And here's
Here's
a silver lining. Ernst Röhm, who was the head of the Brown Shirts, got murdered by the Nazis because they couldn't share power because they're all white supremacists.
Yes.
And at the end, it's like, well, no, I'm in charge. No, I'm in charge. It's like the Great Redoubt thing. We saw this great documentary about this great redoubt movement out in the Northwest.
Something like that. But
it's in the Northwest. It kind of spans a couple of states up that way, but it's a bunch of white people trying to come together and create what they call the Great Redoubt. And it's going to be the fallback position when the apocalypse comes, all that horse shit. But it's all white, obviously, based on white supremacy.
Yeah.
Problem is, when they started pulling the books out of the local library, they didn't want people to read. Some of the guys were like, I like that book. That book's okay. Like, so it was like this.
In the redoubt,
that
different levels of those guys are crazy. I'm not crazy, as the man with the tin hat says. No, those people, they're like the crazy ones. They wear the hat and they do that. So yeah.
So that might be in our favor eventually.
So again,
eventually,
it's a small comfort to that YouTube. It is well documented what the horrible things that happen to these people. That when the people of the land got a chance to get a hold of these guards that had pissed them off, and even like these are just regular people. Like the people that came out to watch these ladies, they weren't people from the concentration camp. They're from the town in Poland. Everyone came. They're like 5,000 people, and then you all just like ripped them to shreds.
Oh yeah.
Like, they were
Yeah.
that mad.
Mhm.
And they're like, "Ah," like, why wouldn't you be? You know, you had us, you did this to us, you trashed us, you got us bombed, you got, and they all just came out. So like,
Mhm.
hope that all those guys, I hope that there's any of them clicking channels. I hope that it hits on like, wait a minute, go watch those things, enjoy. Just see the look of how happy the people are when it flips back around, and how fucking dead you are. Because oh, it's nasty. Like they did the hanging off the back of a truck so that they don't even like fall, they just kind of dangle, and then they go for like 20, they called it the dance.
Oh wow.
Watch it like and then they're just kind of like, yeah, all right, popcorn. Let's have some popcorn. And then afterwards they all rushed them and grabbed their buttons and their clothes and stuff as souvenirs. Like people are vicious when they're
People are
people.
like there will come a day when like people will come with the torches and the
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, ooh, I forgot. Like, when you take a little dally, like, oh my god, like, like the people really do learn from the people that the level of cruelty you exact will come back to you by the people.
What was the place?
People finally.
What was the
get
place we were in? Was it Prague where we went in and saw the fascism museum or the something museum?
Museum.
Communism museum.
It's Prague.
It was pretty cool.
Mm.
And they had video of when
The coup, yeah.
when the Czechs rose up, and you just see actually some street video of a crowd, and the cops are going through a couple of them, and the one guy they are able to picture him. They square him up perfectly on the frame, and he goes to raise up his baton, and somebody just pops him right in the face, and the look on his face was just like, what? And then
everyone's
you
like,
just see everybody rush him. It was like the moment where it just flipped. It was really cool. Yeah.
You're right. He was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, I don't know, but this feels right. We're going with it.
And mind you, I'm not wishing for all of this stuff to happen.
Oh no,
I hope that it's nipped in the bud.
I hope the
long
Congress
before it
freaking
gets to that
realizes.
point.
Yes, the Congress, wake the fuck up. You can stop this at any fucking minute. You can stop it. Like, why did Democrats vote against the impeachment? Like, what is going on?
Money, they're getting paid.
So I'm just saying they can stop it at any time. Maybe they will. They better, but they're not gonna.
They're getting
better. But if they don't, I will have no fucks to give for their demise, for what happens to them.
Yeah.
I hopefully won't be one of the crazed people who are grabbing buttons for family legacy because I'm so angry. Hopefully I will avoid that phase of just like, but like, I don't know, if someone did something to Greg.
Yeah.
You know? Someone did something to someone I knew. I don't know. I don't know if I'd not rip everything.
I wouldn't want to have it come down to fighting in the streets. I think they would love to have it come down to fighting in the streets. But they want to shoot people. They want to hit people.
I meant
but I like I know. But I meant Corey was like going down that road. Sorry. And no, I kind of am hoping for like a strike, like just a general nation
general strike.
Like, just stop. Like, you can't do a goddamn thing until you stop fucking doing it.
You're
like,
right.
again, I also hope the states, like Maine threatened this and never got through with it. But I'm like, don't give your taxes to the federal government. Don't do it. Why would we do that? You're not giving us any rights. You're not giving us any money from Washington. You're fucking trying to grab our people. I'd be like, no, I'm not giving you tax money. Fuck you. And if you're in a blue state, you're doing all right. I mean,
yeah.
If you're a red state, you're fucked. But I mean, in my mind, it's like, let's not give these fuckers tax money. Let's stop the machine.
Agree.
That's the way I look at it.
That's unprecedented. Why? That's not. There's no process for that.
Yeah. Again, from the people who are being paid, the establishment. You're complicit. Either you're stupid or getting paid. But I think you're getting paid. It's just. Yeah. So anyway, yes.
In other terrible news,
you were saying.
In other terrible news, apparently there was a huge fire and explosion in Nicetown.
Yeah, three houses collapsed.
Yeah, I think one person died.
Yeah, and two are like critically injured. They're an 80-year-old and a 60-year-old.
I had thought that originally when I had heard about this, I thought it was in Strawberry Mansion.
Yes, but no, it's nice.
But apparently it was in Nicetown.
Yeah.
Which like I also like the most weirdly named part of.
I know, right?
Because it is not nice.
No, and it's right near Swampoodle, which is also one of the weirdest names. right? You got Strawberry Mansion, which sounds like a gorgeous place. Not gorgeous.
It sucks.
Not gorgeous. Parkside, there's no park. Well, I guess there is. There's mountain.
There
There's-
is,
yeah,
technically.
Yeah,
There's west.
technically.
But this not
Yeah.
not what they say anyway. But yeah, it's not on the side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
So was it a gas explosion? Do they know?
Hold on. Let's see.
5 in the morning. So awful.
Yeah, it was 5 in the morning.
Hmm.
And it didn't look like development because there was nothing happening. It just
two
looked like,
were hospitalized. An 82-year-old and a 62-year-old.
Phew.
Between 100 and 125 people in the neighborhood needed to be evacuated, including 25 children.
Hmm.
I'm not seeing, but if all those people needed to be evacuated, I'm assuming that it was a gas.
Probably, yeah. Because
Ish.
right, because then that's the next thing is you have a secondary explosions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine what else it could be. I mean, what else could cause an explosion? Like unless somebody was storing some weird shit in their basements.
But like an 82-year-old, like, no, that's not happening.
Right, yeah.
And it's really not
making
happening
meth.
in that neighborhood.
I hear they're making meth.
I don't think
Very
that meth is like a thing that's known in.
Little old people hands trying to do that. Like it's just like the worst thing. They can't see,
Yeah, but they're jacked up on that.
but they're jacked up on that's true.
So they're like 60. They're 82, but they act like 60. So that does suck. So 1 dead, 2 in the hospital.
One's super critical though. So
Yeah.
they don't. And when you're old and you say critical, that's really scary.
Yeah.
But then
Like if you're 82 or 69, like any injury should be automatically considered critical.
Yep. Go straight to the ICU.
Oh wow. They're showing like where like bricks and shit and like debris like blasted onto like a car.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was three buildings collapsed. So
Phew.
it's pretty awful.
It was really crazy.
Yeah, and 5 in the morning is the worst time. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
that
a good
is.
time for that to happen. But
If that happens at 5 in the morning, I'm gonna die of a heart attack.
right, 5 in the morning is just bad enough. Just
Yeah.
knowing it exists is a stress for me. But to have that happen
Yeah.
at that time is really bad. So not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah, we had what was it, 2 weeks ago? We had that a smoke alarm went off. We have a ear-piercing smoke alarm in our
Oh yeah.
common hallway. We got 3 stories in our condo.
right
we're
through it.
we're the middle story, and it was ear-piercing, and it went off at about 2 in the morning. And Carolyn, of course, is sleeping through it. But the dog and the cat are just like off their rocker.
I'm dead if
Yeah.
there's a fire. I am dead.
Yeah.
You were so dead.
Yeah. And I'm looking in the hallways and there's no smoke, there's no smell of anything. So I called the security guard and they did come out and turn it off, but that's not in the past that's happened once before and it went on for many, many hours. So it can be a real pain in the ass.
Wow.
But anyway, waking up at 2:30 in the morning with the boop boop boop, I'm like, what the fuck? What is that? Like, you got to get your brain.
Right. Imagine
together.
everything
Yeah.
just falling on you.
Yeah.
That on top of, and I
An
can't get up
explosion.
because I
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
house on me.
Like
Absolutely.
I can imagine like how much I'd be tripping if like our burglar alarm went off at that time, or like a fire alarm. Like I'm fucking tripping balls,
Yeah.
like grabbing everybody, grabbing my weapons.
Everything,
Yeah.
right? God.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing too that we were watching one podcaster. He was talking about, and normally he's I would say he's liberal or well progressive liberal. He was basically saying he makes a lot of sense, but he was talking about he's like, I know I'm going to catch a lot of shit for this. He's like, but in these protests, he's like, I would urge people to consider going armed, or at least
I have heard that.
yeah.
I have heard that repeatedly.
Yeah.
I don't know which particular podcaster
Yeah.
you heard that from, but I've heard that repeatedly.
Yeah, 'cause-
You know.
and he made it.
He shoot
he made-
people that aren't identifying
Right,
themselves.
that's
that
part
come
of it.
from
But the other part, the first part of it though, was the
Stand your
fact
ground.
that in the past you could rely on the judiciary to help you, and you could get your case heard and get it adjudicated. Now it's like you could end up in El Salvador.
Yeah. So you got to fight for your life and your right to party, but no, your life.
And you're right to party.
But no.
I personally would not advise that.
Yeah.
Like there are smarter ways, I think, to get out of situations. You know, not it's not going to work every time,
Mhm.
but I promise you, if you kill somebody, the consequences of that
I
are
know.
going to be far worse than whatever it is you're going to
If you are
at
not
least for the
if
moment.
you are an immigrant, if you're not an immigrant and you're threatened by masked people that aren't identifying themselves, like you sees them attacking a guy and you go up and say, "What are you doing?" and then they turn on you and try to attack you, then I think that is a perfect reason, if you are armed, to shoot the fuck out of somebody because you're scared of them and they're not identifying themselves. And I'm sorry, but I would go, if that happened to me, and if I lived with, let's say I had a Hispanic husband or child or something like that, where I felt that that might happen to them, I sure as shit would be armed. And if that had happened, I would shoot somebody. I would have no problem with it because you know what? You're not identifying yourself. This is brown shirt territory. I'm sorry, like you said, I don't know if I'm going to have the chance to save that person. They could be wherever they're going. Already the government's rogue, and there are stand your ground laws. And so I would grab on one of those and say,
The question is whether those
I'll take it to court.
stand your ground
take it
laws
to court.
will be able to apply.
We'll
be
take it to court.
applied.
That's it. And I would,
Because
in addition to a
what-
gun, I would have a webcam. I would have a body cam all the time. So in addition to
There you
a
go.
gun, I would do
There you go.
that. So
that's one way to
that
do
would be
it.
that would be my thing, is that I would be like, I'm armed and I got a camera going.
But I would remind people that in a racist country,
Oh yeah.
if you're not white, you ain't right.
Nope. Yeah, this is not for everybody. This is just me personally talking about where, and then I'm not at that threat level because I don't have a husband that might be taken. I don't have that. I don't know if it comes.
I don't know.
They start taking Jewish guys.
How many
start taking-
generations did your family go back to?
That's what I'm saying. And if we're working together
Not
and
that
they're
far, not to the founding, I'll say that.
if we're working together and they're taking Jewish guys for some reason, Shella, I would do that. They're not taking you. They're not taking.
Aw.
They're not. No, I would. No. Like that's what I mean. Like if we're together and we're working and one of us is possibly going to take it off out of the to fucking El Salvador or a third country of their choosing. What?
The third
No.
of your
Well, if I could bring my family along.
It's called
What
a
are my
vacation.
choices? What are my choices? Yeah.
See the
I got some prime spots already hooked up.
Bali.
I have some places I can crash in Israel, in Buenos Aires.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
right? I'm just saying, like that's where it's come to. Like if
And
they
the-
are
and
not.
and the crazy part is, it's like we see stories all the time now that people just decide they want to wear ICE stuff
Yeah.
and rouse
Yeah.
people. Fuck with
Well,
them.
look at the dude that fucking did that thing the other week. They shot
Oh,
those
yeah.
people
He was a
He says
cop.
it's a
He
fucking
dressed up as a
cop.
cop. Yes, exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
with
Like
the weirdest fucking mask in the
I know.
world.
Oh,
Yeah.
creepy.
But
Yeah.
Oh, but
Yeah.
I know I've seen those on Amazon. I've always been like, oh, they look so realistic. But no, they do not. No, they do not in person. Online, they look great.
Yeah, so I just don't understand. Again, I'm not advocating
No, of
telling
course not.
people go carry a gun. You make that decision yourself based on the risk. But
If you
I am saying that there is plenty of evidence to be like, just because you have a mask and a fucking tactical gear does not make you a fucking cop. I'm sorry, dude. You don't have it.
and I'll be honest, I'm going to be straight up. I will defend our neighborhood, my
Yeah, you
neighborhood,
will. Yeah, you will. Of
Yeah.
course you will. Of course you will.
Right?
Of course you will.
Yep.
Because you're human
and
you're
I don't
and you're-
miss
No.
ever.
Yeah.
Good. But no, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Normal everyday people understand there's a threat. And like I said, you
Yeah.
can't trust the courts.
Nope.
You don't know if they're going to take you
Well,
away.
I saw an interesting video. This guy was actually filming in his car. He had followed an ICE SUV. It had obviously had seen it earlier in his neighborhood, and he had rolled up behind it and was taking video of it to get the license plates and all that kind of shit to identify.
Yeah.
They stopped, blocked his car, got out. So there's like about 6 guys, trying to get in the door. And he's like, I'm not opening my door. You guys are a threat to me. I'm not doing it. I'm filming everybody. So he's filming them for, I don't know, a couple of minutes. And they're trying to get him, what's the problem? What's the matter? He's like, because you guys are pulling my neighbor. You're grabbing my neighbors. You're actually,
Yeah.
kidnapping people in my fucking neighborhood. So yeah, I'm going to film you. Anyway, at the end of the video, an actual police officer, a California police officer, I don't know what city they were in, he just comes up, he goes, you can see his face. He's got a badge. He's got a name. He got a nameplate. He goes, oh, hi, I'm whatever, so-and-so. I'm a peace officer with California, whatever city it was. What seems to be the problem here? And they all worked it out. Basically, the ICE guys were like, okay, we're out of here. Here's a real cop. But that's the whole difference right there, is these fucking
Yeah.
folks with their masks on and just some...
They're escalated.
Right?
It's exactly what terrorists do.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's domestic terrorism. It's brown shirts.
Yes.
That's the whole point
Like
of it.
this-
We know
This
it.
is exactly the same sort of thing that ISIS
yes.
and like Al Qaeda and like
yes.
Hamas and like all these different groups do
Yes.
to
Terrorist
marginalized
people.
communities
Yes.
wherever they are.
Yes, which is why I think that it's actually important to talk about this, that we need to be proactive about defending ourselves and not squeamish about it. We need to talk about it. That's the first step. We're not running out in the streets right now, but this is the first step, right? We talk about it and we determine where our boundaries are and we determine where our neighbors are and we determine who's got the ammo and who's got the guns, who's got the aim, we say, who's good with distractions. Like, we'll figure this shit out.
Who's got the tactical crossbows?
There we
right.
Yes, exactly. And then we figure and who's good at spotting, who are the where's my autistic people that are real good with patterns, like
Oh
my
look
God.
out the window, you tell me. You see something, I know you're gonna see it.
Yeah.
You'll hear it, they can hear
Tell
conversation.
me about the trains.
Well, that's the problem is they can occasionally go off on a
That's
tangent.
it.
on trains.
Okay, we can-
You have to, you gotta hit them.
A little bit. Just a little bit. But it's all right. It's all good. But yeah, that they'll see the patterns. They'll help us out. It'll be all good.
Yeah.
Old ladies, the old women that like
Oh, that's who you
very
need.
huge.
That's who you
Bunch
need.
of them.
You need those for like the communication, like because they have the grapevine.
And you know what else you need them for? No lie.
Uh,
This is Eastern European. And I know this. My grandmom used to do, no, never mind. Long story. I'll leave you out. But here's the thing. What happens is when times of political distress and division, what happens in a lot of Polish and the Eastern European towns is the women will march, the older women, and we show our bodies. Show our tits and we show our asses, and nobody wants to see that. And so
No,
they'll
but you're
go to
right.
court,
You're
they'll
right.
go
Nobody
to court
wants
and
to
they'll
see
just
that.
start taking their clothes off, and men are so embarrassed, and they're like, "That's my mom," and stuff, and it all goes to hell, and they'll be able.
That is the best protest
Isn't it?
in the world.
Middle-aged
Because
women
it is
just
the most horrifying.
right is what squeezing my. I'm gonna bend over. I'm gonna pick up a pickle jar. I'm gonna open a jar.
A bunch of old women and old men with
Old
wrinkly
men.
fucking
That's
tits and,
it.
and balls flapping
That's
everywhere,
it.
I was
That's
gonna
it.
say, the old
dangling
men-
around their
the old
knees.
men aren't that great either.
Well, the women are more offensive,
Yes.
apparently, because
Yeah,
it makes people feel like they want to cover them.
Yes.
Because with men, you're just like, oh God, dead.
Yeah, you look
But
like
with
an
women-
That's the point. Like nobody wants to see like two
Yeah, but I
like
guess-
pair,
But I guess
pair
men are
of
kind of more
dingly-danglies,
pervy. Men,
you
men
know,
are a
hanging
little more
around somebody's
dangerous.
knees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
men are a little more dangerous. All you need
Yeah.
is like one good Woody, and then everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's like too much. But women don't have that. Like women are just like, we're all gravy, we're all offensive, and no one wants to see that, and they feel bad, and it's just like, see what you made us do, and it's
Yeah.
like even the most hardened patriarchal guy is like, I do not want to make a woman of that age hang it all out and just be like, I'm so mad. Look at this. Look at this.
Look at my saggy titties, god damn
Look
it.
at this. I'm so mad. Look at this scar. Look. And then everyone's, no one wants to see that. And it all, and mayhem ensues, and the breakdown of, a fascist encounter will often, it's very de-escalating of a lot of different situations. So I'm prepared to take one, but I'd like to try guns first. But if needed, I will get naked for the cause.
Yeah.
I must.
Oh.
If I must.
On that note,
On that note,
ending on
It's working 3 o'clock. Thank you, chatbot. It's the chatbot, and the chatbot think about give it something to think about. Chatbot, this is for you. I want you to make sense of this, and next week, give us better stuff. Right?
Better jokes.
Anything
Better
for
jokes.
chatbot? Is that all you got, Corey, for chatbot?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was all of the stuff that I remembered.
Yeah.
There were other things, I'm sure, but that's what I remembered.
And there'll be more shit next week.
First
Yeah.
Yeah.
of critiquing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was fun.
All right, man. Keep
All right.
cool.
All right. Huh?
Keep
Peace.
cool.
Yep. Try to.